Hello everyone, my name's Rebecca Farley. I'm a research associate working in the School of Arts and Cultures here at Newcastle University. My research interests are around the intersections between public art, museology and heritage, with a particular focus on how contemporary art practice relates to issues of site and place, audience and collections. So in response to Menelaus's invitation to talk about myself in relation to rural arts, I'm going to quickly introduce some of my recent research activity and also talk about some rural-based projects that I was involved in before joining the university. From the start of 2017 until the end of December last year, I worked as a research associate on the 3-year AHRC-funded Mapping Contemporary Art in the Heritage Experience research project, led by Andrew Burton in Fine Art. This was an interdisciplinary project examining the value and practice of temporary visual arts commissioning within the heritage sector in the UK, mapping the current landscape and exploring the impact of this activity on its producers and audiences. The project was delivered in collaboration with Leeds University, Arts and Heritage and National Heritage partners, the National Trust, Churches Conservation Trust and English Heritage. As a central output of the research, we commissioned 6 new case study artworks for different heritage locations in North East England, including at 3 rural properties at Cherryburn, Gibbside and Belsay Hall, run by National Trust and English Heritage. We also delivered a major conference on art and heritage practice last July at Newcastle and a public exhibition, Out of Place, at the Hatton Gallery, which some of you may have seen. Following on from Mackie, I'm now working as a research associate with V. Pollock, developing a variety of new research funding applications and publication projects. This includes some new pilot work with the National Trust looking at the creation of a new digital archive for the Trust New Art programme, which has just celebrated 10 years of temporary commissioning and exhibition activity. And we're hoping this work will lead to a new AHRC research application. But my interest in rural arts practice started long before I joined the university, when I worked as part of the Commission's North team at Arts Council England, North East here in Newcastle, from 2003 to 2010, and also as a freelance public art curator and project manager in the region. A key focus of that work was on developing public art projects, artist commissions and visual arts residencies in rural and coastal environments, mainly in Northumberland, but also in Tyne and Wear. And one of my first projects on joining the Arts Council was to develop this public art action plan for Northumberland, commissioned by Northumberland Strategic Partnership through funding from One North East, the regional development agency. And this led to the development of a series of new collaborations, commissions and design proposals across the county. One of these was the initiation of a Market Towns artist scheme to place artists within public realm regeneration projects led by local development partnerships. And this included design proposals and commissions in Hexham, Berwick and Prudhoe, for example. I also worked closely with the Environment Agency, initiating a 3-year artist-in-residence scheme with them, which is the first time they'd worked in that way with contemporary art. Between 2008 and 2010, artists explored and were integrated into different aspects of the agency's work, from salmon production up at Kielder, where we worked with Joe Hillier, regional artist, and to work on major flood defence projects like that happening in Morpeth, which involved the artist Kath Campbell. As part of that, during that time, I also worked on an early collaboration with the National Trust on the development of a series of new outdoor art interventions for the Inside Out exhibition held at Cragside in Northumberland in 2006. And that project was curated by Judith King, who's the creative director of Arts and Heritage now, and was also a colleague on the Mackie project. Alongside these rural locations, I've also been involved in the development of arts activity in northeast coastal communities, including consultancy work on this art and landscape strategy for Holy Island as part of their HLF-funded landscape partnership project. and So Shields, which was one of a series of commissions I developed as part of my work with the Newcastle-based public art agency Grit and Pearl. And this was a series of temporary artist commissions, artist editions and public poetry commissioned by South Tyneside Council as part of a seafront interpretation plan for South Shields. And lastly, Foghorn Requiem, which was a sound and art commission developed for Souter Lighthouse, which is halfway between Sunderland and South Shields, which was one of the last delivery projects I worked on before joining the university. This was commissioned by South Tyneside Council and National Trust, who run Souter Lighthouse, and resulted in what was quite an amazing large-scale public event at Souter, presented as part of the Festival of the North East in 2013. And that included a live musical performance by massed brass bands with the sounding of the Souter foghorn, accompanied by the foghorns from 50 ships set out to sea, which formed the Requiem Flotilla. And you can listen to the performance and view a film of the making of the project at the web address included on this current slide. So thank you for viewing my presentation, and I look forward to meeting up with everyone very soon. Thank you.